Now, there's one thing that I need to clarify before we go into the session. When I'm talking about an entrepreneurial mindset, it has nothing to do with the position you're occupying. Obviously, we all know an entrepreneur is a founder. It's someone who starts a business. Yes. But when we're talking about an entrepreneurial mindset, it's not about whether you're an employee or an entrepreneur, whether you're a founder or someone who's driving a company. An entrepreneurial mindset is a way of thinking. What is an entrepreneur by definition? An innovator, someone who takes risks, someone who builds, someone who creates opportunities, not just takes them. Yes or no? Yes. And someone who inspires and actually helps many others. And entrepreneurs are the driving force of an economy. Is that clear? That's why they get tax base. That's what an entrepreneurial mindset can be applied into. Many employees have entrepreneurial mindset and they innovate within an organization. They innovate within a company. They push progress, and those are the people that get promoted the fastest. They're the people with the best job security. They're the ones that end up actually becoming CEOs of that company one day. Yes or no? Yes. And there's also entrepreneurs with an employee mindset that end up going bankrupt that quick. Is that clear? Yes. So again, it's a mindset. If you develop this mindset, you'll be 10 times better at anything that you do. Whether you choose to be an entrepreneur in your life and own a business, or whether you choose to be an employee with an entrepreneurial mindset, you'll be way more successful. You'll have way more security, and you'll have way, way bigger paychecks. Is that clear? Yes. Are you guys excited to learn about this? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you what an entrepreneur thinks like, what is their mindset, so all of you can adopt it. Is that all right? Yeah. And I'm going to compare it to employee, so all of you can see where you need to be better, where you need to grow in, and where you're already excelling then. Cool? Yes. Awesome. Now, before we go into the entrepreneurial mindset, I do want to talk about something that's important, because I think this is not talked about enough, and no education system actually really teaches this. We never learn this stuff in elementary. We never learn it in middle school. We don't learn it in high school. You don't even learn it in university, even if you take an MBA. And the concept is not that complicated. But the concept is, what are the 4 different ways someone can produce income for themselves in a capitalistic society? Okay? In capitalism, there's 4 ways you can earn income. And if you develop an entrepreneurial mindset, you can be more successful in all these areas. But I want to tell you what your options are, because too many people think that they're locked into just being an employee, or they're locked into just being self-employed. And I want to tell you, you have other options. So there's 4 different ways you can earn income. You can earn income as an employee, as a self-employed individual, as a business owner. How do I get rid of this? There's someone that's unmuted. Okay. And the last one is investor. Here's the good news that I have for you. With our opportunity, you can go to business owner, investor, and all the other levels. Some platforms allow you the opportunity to do that. Some platforms don't. This platform allows you to do it, and I'm going to talk about exactly how you can do that. Is that all right? Yes. What is an employee? An employee is someone that trades time for money. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a noble thing to do. But the negative part about being an employee is that you're stuck in a pyramid scheme. Okay? It actually is a scam. I'm telling you. If you're an employee, you are being scammed. And I'll tell you exactly how that's going. Okay? Because as an employee, you are in a structure where you have no control or power over how fast you go up and increase your income. Does that make sense? Let's use Walmart as an example. Walmart has a lot of people that work at the retail store. Yes or no? Okay. Those are usually the ground floor employees. Yes or no? Then those individuals have a manager that's above them. They have district managers that are above them. And then there's a CEO or maybe multiple CEOs, depending on how big the company is and how many regions there are. Yes or no? Yes. And then there's an owner. Okay. I think the Waltons are the owners of Walmart. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Let me ask you a question before anyone goes, what do you mean it's a pyramid? Let's actually talk about it. What type of game plan does a Walmart employee get that says this is how you can make more money than Sam Walton's family in this company? What does that game plan look like? Every day, if you do X, Y, Z, in this many years, you'll make billions of dollars in Walmart. Is that game plan out there? No. So can anyone make as much as an owner in an employment position? No. Never. All you're doing is you're constantly making that owner wealthier and hopefully giving a lot of value to that client base. Yes or no? Okay. How do you become a manager, district manager? Let's say CEO. How do you become a CEO of that company? What's the game plan? So when somebody starts at Walmart and like, hey, you're a cashier, you're a janitor, you're someone that helps people with finding products, whatever the position is, and here's how you can go from here to CEO. Here's the game plan, 90-day game plan. Is that what they give you? 90-day game plan, you put in the work ethic, won't make you CEO. Does that happen? What about a 90-year game plan? They don't give you that either. No? Okay. How do you actually, let's actually think about what needs to happen for someone to become a CEO. First of all, there needs to be a position available. Yes or no? Yes. That means that current CEO needs to either get fired, quit, retire, or God forbid, die. If one of those four things happen to the CEO, now there's a position available. Now, do they go and go, who's the hardest working person in our company? Who's done the most to help us grow? Is that what they do? Or do they go, hey guys, do you think we can get the Disney CEO? Do you guys think we can go get the CEO from Starbucks who's already done this and knows what they're doing? Which one do you think they do? And by the way, let's say there's a company that has a culture of promoting within. Let's say there's a company that does that. Hopefully there's more companies that do that because it's very powerful. Who do you think gets that job out of 1,000 employees? Don't you think it's the guy who hangs out with the boss the most? Maybe the cousin, maybe the best friend, maybe the person they have sushi with every lunch break. So what can you actually do to get promoted and get a higher pay in that company? You don't know. That's why it's a scam. Does that make sense? It's all about politics. It's all about who they like the most. It's about who's kissed whose butt and when they did it. If you're an employee hearing this, I'm not saying this to offend you. Being an employee is very noble. I really appreciate the fact that we have so many employees that are there to serve the clientele because without them, companies can't work. And I understand everyone has to go through a process where they're an employee before they become a business owner because we all need to pay bills. Yes or no? All I'm saying is understand what you're into. Understand what you're dedicating all your hours, all your time and energy to. And if it's not somewhere that's going to give you the opportunity to grow, you may want to take your talents elsewhere. My advice. Cool? Yes. Then we have self-employed. Self-employed individuals also trade time for money. But here's the one difference. They now control how much their time is worth. Who's self-employed? Personal trainers are self-employed. Doctors are self-employed. Dentists are self-employed. Yes or no? Realtors are self-employed. Financial professionals are self-employed. These are all self-employed individuals. Yes or no? Okay. In order for a realtor to make money, they need to trade time for money. Yes or no? In order for a doctor to make money, they need to see patients. In order for a dentist to make money, they need to see patients. Correct? Okay. Again, there's nothing wrong with trading time for money, but time is limited. Make sense? But there's one benefit of being self-employed, which is you are your own boss. So you control how much your time is worth based on how well you do what you do. So if you take an actor who's self-employed, their time might be worth $20 an hour if they're an extra. Their time might be worth $20 million per movie if they're a famous actor, like let's say Will Smith. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now, here's the problem though. If Will Smith wants to go nuts and take his career to the next level and make a lot of money at the same time, he'll probably do 5 or 10 movies in a year. Do you think he'll ever have time to spend time with his family? Do you think he has a lot of leisure time? If he wants to step back and spend more time with his family and spend more time, nourishing his friends and whatever, can he make as many movies? So as a self-employed individual, although you have the power to increase the value of your time, which can increase your income and give you more flexibility, you always have to make a choice. Do I want to make more money or do I want to spend more time with my family? That's why you hear so many lawyers that get divorces. That's why you hear so many doctors get divorces because they work a lot of hours to make the amount of money that would make them, edified and recognized in that circle of group that they're hanging out with, but they don't get to see their family that often. And when does that stop? Maybe one day when they retire. Is that clear for everyone? Yes. Okay. Then you have a business owner. Who's a business owner? A business owner is an individual who has started a business, not a small business. A small business would still be self-employed, meaning if you have a mom and pop shop where the owners are there every day serving coffee or serving food, that's still considered self-employed. A business owner is someone who has developed a system within a business where whether they are there or not, the business operates successfully. Does that make sense? Yes. The biggest companies in the world are operating without the founder and owner being there all the time. How many of you have gone to Starbucks over the last 3 months? Was Howard Schultz, the owner, founder, there serving you coffee? Oh, here's a double espresso. Thank you. Is that what happened? How many of you have ordered something from Amazon and Jeff Bezos himself delivered it? Hey guys, I was just in the neighborhood. I thought I'd bring your package for you. Has that happened before? Mark Zuckerberg is on Facebook helping you out in customer service. I noticed you have a technical difficulty. I just wanted to. See, the biggest companies are so big because the founder, the owner, built a system that could grow the company without his involvement or her involvement. Because an individual's time is limited. And if a company's growth is dependent on someone's time, it will only grow so much. Make sense? If I leave tomorrow and I don't do a single meeting ever again, don't come to any, if you guys never see me again, I'll still get paid about $100,000 a month in passive income. Yes, sir. Why? Because there's a system that we've built where there's many people that are building their business and making it happen for their own life. And the way the compensation model works is that I get a passive income from that. And I had to work for many years very hard, be there all the time to build that system, just like any other business owner or founder had to. But in this platform, that's possible. Let me ask you a question. If I worked just as hard in realtor, would I still have that compensation? No. Impossible. Impossible. If I worked just as hard with just as much diligence. By the way, guys, if you guys want to educate each other after. But I have all the realtor friends you want me to have, okay? But if I work just as hard with as much diligence in real estate, and I start a brokerage. Here, that's a good idea, right? Let's start a brokerage. And I bring all these realtors to work for me. I give them my system. I teach them. I educate them. One day, one of my realtors goes, why the hell am I working in this brokerage? I'll just get a brokerage license and do the same thing and make money. Bye, Nima. And they leave. That's why there's a lot of realtors that make very good money, that are very successful, but don't have passive income. And that's why so many successful realtors don't start a brokerage. Because to them, they realize it's not feasible. And if they do have a brokerage, here's what it does. They have two people that go to open houses for 3 years, and then they get their own clients, and they leave, and they find someone else. Because the platform limits the person in that brokerage to that brokerage. In our system, it's not like that. Anyone, Roman has his own brokerage right now. Lexi has her own brokerage. Storia has her own brokerage. And they can grow as much as they want, and they can make way more money than me, and I have no control over it at all. That's why our system creates that level of passive income that gives you time freedom and unlimited income potential. Because not only do we want to earn enough income where we can satisfy our lifestyle and help the people around us, but we also want to have time, no? We also want to be able to travel where we want to travel. We also want to see our family as well. That's what being a business owner allows you to do. And then we have an investor. An investor is someone who has full-time freedom and unlimited income potential with no responsibilities. See, as a business owner, you still have responsibility. If something goes wrong with Meta, who gets taken to court? Mark Zuckerberg. Yes or no? If something goes wrong in Tesla, who gets taken to court? Elon Musk. If something happens, is that clear? Yes. So as a business owner, you still have responsibilities in a business. When you're an investor, you have no responsibilities anymore either, because your money's making money for you. As an example, you have $5 million, you put it somewhere that gives you 5% interest every year. That's $250,000 a year of recurring income without having to touch the base of your income, because you're living off the interest. Is that clear for everyone? Yes. So let me ask you a question, and you don't have to answer, but I'm just curious. Where do most people want to be in this quadrant? Investment. Almost everyone you talk to, even people that love their job, which is amazing, even people that love their self-employed career, which is amazing, is investor. That's what we call retirement. Meaning you get to a point where you have so much money, where your money is satisfying your lifestyle, where you no longer have to work for it. Now, could a person still decide to continue to work even at that point? For sure. But now they're working simply for pleasure and purpose. They're not working to satisfy a lifestyle. Is that clear? Yes. When I looked at our business model, when I looked at our compensation model, here's what I saw. We all start at self-employed, just like any other business owner. But with the system that's designed, with the compensation model that's designed, anyone can go to business owner as fast as they want, depending on how much income they're looking to get and how hard they're looking to work for it. So for me, I got to $1 million plus of passive income within 5 years of doing this thing. Other people may do it quicker. Other people may take much longer. That's fine. But the opportunity gives you that freedom to work as hard as you're willing to work to get what you want to get. Yes or no? Yes. And then with the financial knowledge that we gain in this industry, with the financial education that we gain in this industry, we can take that money and become phenomenal investors. Yes or no? Yes. That's why I love our platform. But in order to do that, you need to have a certain mindset. You need to think in a certain way so you can make decisions in a certain way. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Is that okay? Yes. By the way, for those of you that are new, I just want to let you know there's 3 different ways you can make income in our business. And it involves self-employed, passive income, or a mix of both. And I have this here for you so you can all see it. Look, in our business model, we have such an amazing system right now in our team that every licensed agent produces about 40,000 points in production. Okay? That means that if you have 40 licensed agents in our organization, even on a very low standard that we go on, you're going to make about 250,000 a year of passive income based on what the people in our team have done so far in our business. Is that clear? Yes. By the way, you guys are not that excited. 40 licensed agents. By the way, hold on. This is important. I didn't say 400 licensed agents. I said 40. 40. And you're making potentially 250,000 a year of passive income with that kind of business. Now, there's someone here that says, Nima, I don't like working with people. I don't like managing people. I don't want to lead a team. No problem. You do 500,000 of personal production, even on an MD contract, you take home 250,000 plus a year. Roman Kinzerski, as an MD, was making 250,000 a year by doing exactly that. So if there's someone here that goes, do I have to build a team? Do I have to manage people? Do I have to recruit people? No, you don't. You just have to serve clients with amazing products and amazing financial services that we have in store. Is that clear? Yes. And then there's some people that say, you know what? I want to do a bit of both. I want to have a little bit of a team, but I also want to still serve my own clients. No problem. You have that option too. And all these game plans can be done in whatever time frame you are willing to make it happen, based on your work ethic, based on how fast you learn, and based on how well you apply. Is that all right? Yes. Awesome. Should we start now on the entrepreneur versus employee mindset? Okay. Let's talk about it now. So here are the differences, and I'm going to go through them one by one. An entrepreneur mindset starts with delayed gratification. An employee mindset is instant gratification. What do I mean? An entrepreneur is willing to invest a lot of time, energy, and money for years before seeing any profit, before getting any recognition, so that one day their company is going to start paying them a lot of money, so that one day that company can be worth something where they can sell for a lot of money. Did you know that most tech companies are never profitable? Most tech companies are actually never profitable. When a tech entrepreneur goes and starts a business, here's their mentality. I'm going to build a company. I'm going to produce a great service. I'm going to get a lot of data. I'm going to get a lot of clientele. I'm going to have a big platform. And then hopefully Meta buys it from me for $10 million. Hopefully Microsoft buys it from me for $40 million. That's the game plan for most tech entrepreneurs. How do I know? They always come to me to get them to invest in their company. But guess what? For that 5, 10, 15 years for them to get the company to that valuation, they take very little income, if any. It's all being reinvested. They're not buying they're not buying tables at mansion. They're not partying every night. No, they're working their butt off and they're broke as hell. Is that clear? Yeah. Every business has that same thing in common. For the first couple years, you will not be very profitable. What do we call this, guys? I call this Disney Financial Group because it's so doable and easy. It makes no sense. This is the only business that I've seen where somebody can become profitable within 3 months. This is one of the only businesses I've ever seen where someone can become profitable almost instantaneously. As you get a license, you start seeing clients, you're profitable. Any other business will take 2 to 4 years to even make $1 of profit. You go, Nima, that doesn't make sense. Let me tell you how it makes sense. You want to go start a coffee shop. Sounds like a good idea, right? Okay, good. Get a $500,000 loan from your bank. It's going to have about 10 to 20% interest. That means on the low end, that's $50,000 a year in interest, $4,000 a month in interest. That doesn't include your overhead costs of employees, of paying a rent for that coffee shop or anything else. Is that clear? Okay. So let's say you build the craziest, most fantastic coffee shop. There's lineups outside your door till you can imagine. And you're getting a revenue of $1 million. You know how much is the average profit margin for a coffee shop? 20 to 30%. That means out of $1 million of revenue after cost, you have maybe $200,000 left over. $50,000 just to service the interest on your loan. That leaves you with $150,000 to pay it back. You're still left with how much interest, guys? $350,000. That means it's going to take you at least 3 to 4 years just to pay back your loan. Did you get what I just said? And that's a phenomenal coffee shop that has $1 million of revenue. Do you know how many freaking croissants you have to sell to get $1 million of revenue? Because I have all these people that go, I have a great idea. I'm going to go start a restaurant. Do you know what it's like to start a restaurant? It just looks really cool. But it takes delayed gratification for someone to build that successful restaurant or successful coffee shop that we all get to enjoy every day. But an employee mindset says what? I worked 2 weeks. Where's my paycheck? I've had people in our business come to me and go, Nima, I've been coming to your meetings for the last 2 months. I haven't made any money. My parents are concerned. I said, I'm concerned too. How come you're not licensed yet? No, hold on. I'm like, no. I'm just as concerned as your parents. How come you haven't got licensed? I'm busy. How come you haven't talked to anyone to come and see what we have to offer so you can get trained? I don't want to get rejected. Okay, wonderful excuse. I'm like, do you understand that people usually pay to go to classes and learn? You're not even paying for my classes, but you expect me to pay you? I should pay you for your generosity to come in and sitting there and learning from me. And then my next question is, let's go talk to your parents. Let's ask them how much money you made for 4 years of university. Should we do that? What are you talking about? I'm like, well, didn't you go to university for 4? You've been here for 2 months. Didn't you go to university for 4 years? How many hours of classes did you sit in? I don't know. I think I sat in 40 hours a week of classes. How much did they pay you? Nothing. What? Actually, I paid them. You got scammed. You don't need to clap. I don't know why you. But that's the way an employee thinks, who's instant gratification. If you're an entrepreneur in university, what are you thinking? I'm investing in myself and in my future. So 4 years from now, I might get a career that's going to compensate me at a level that's worth this investment. Yes or no? That's how an entrepreneur thinks. An employee thinks, pay me now. I've shown up. I've graced you with my presence. Where's my income? So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to train your mind of delayed gratification. Let me tell you guys something. The best things in life take time to get. You want a nice body? It takes time to get it. You want to get rich? It takes time to get it. You want to be successful in this business? It takes time to get it. You want to develop a successful relationship where you're in love? It takes time to get it. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go to the next one, which kind of relates to what we just talked about. Entrepreneurs expect to get paid for results. Employees expect to get paid for time. I'll say that one more time. Entrepreneurs expect to get paid for results. Employees expect to get paid for time. Meaning they say, I came here for an hour. Give me an hour worth of my wage. That's an employee. An entrepreneur says, I've produced this many sales and this much profit. I want to earn some of that profit. Yes or no? Yes. That's a different way of thinking. See, one side is trading their time for money. The other side is training their ability for money. Because if you can learn to get results in less time, you can get richer faster, no? Yes. If you can increase the value of your time. See, if you're a salesperson and can make 3 sales in an hour, you'll make more money than the person who can make 1 sale in 3 hours, yes or no? Yes. What is the differentiation between those two? Your level of skill and adaptability in that industry. So an entrepreneur trains their mind to go, I expect to get paid. By the way, again, an entrepreneur in an employment position will think the same way. They will get compensated for their hour. But in their mind, they're thinking, what am I producing for this company that makes me valuable to them? If there's an economic downturn, how much results have I produced for them where they're not going to fire me? Because guess what? When layoffs happen, it's usually, unless it's the company's going down or whatever, usually the people who produce the most results stay and the people who produce the least results leave. Yes or no? Let's go to the next one. Entrepreneurs invest a lot before earning anything. Employees have no investment unless they're guaranteed to be compensated for it. Meaning, as an entrepreneur, you're going to invest a lot of energy, time, emotions, and money long before you get compensated for it. Yes or no? Again, in our business, it can happen a little bit quicker. In a traditional business, it can take much longer. But that's, again, your delayed gratification. And here's and let me tell you guys what the self-talk is. An entrepreneur says, I'll do it so. I'll come to Worcester convention so I can make 10,000 a month when I come back. I'll come to Worcester convention so I can produce these kind of results over the next year. I'll go take this course so I can earn this much after I graduate. Does that make sense? The self-talk of the entrepreneur is, I'll do it so. I'll invest a lot of money in my business. I'll get an office. I'll get an admin. I'll get all of this so that I can produce this level of income for myself and get that much profit. Yes or no? Here's what an employee says. I'll do it if. I'll work overtime if you pay me for it. I'll train your employee if you pay me extra for it. I saw this one reel and this lady got on and she's like the hero for the employee mindset. She's like, this is how you answer your boss when they tell you to train someone and you want to get paid for it. And you go, am I going to get paid at a manager's level to train this person? And then if you do that, your boss will say, yeah, sure. And I put a comment and I said, that's exactly what my last employee did before I fired them. Great advice. I don't think many people like that. But you think that's the type of person that's going to keep their job when shit hits the fan? No, here's who keeps the job. The guy that goes, listen, that's okay. I'll train this person for you, no problem. It's the person who's willing to take a little bit more for the company. And when the downturn happens, they go, we can't fire her. She's always there for us. We can't fire him. He's always there for us. They produce way more value than what they ask for. We need to keep them. When they're thinking about who to promote, they go, this person's been acting like a manager for the last 2 years. Forget about manager. Let's push them to district manager. You think business owners are dumb? They want to make profit. And when they see someone who's willing to give, who's willing to provide value to the company without a contract in place that they're going to get compensated for exactly, that's the person that actually gets promoted. It's not the person that gets taken advantage of. It's actually the person that gets promoted. And if you're in a company that they take advantage of that, you're in the wrong company. It's not your mindset that's the issue. It's that organization that's the issue. Nothing is worse than learning the wrong lesson from the right experience. Nothing is worse than that. Nothing is worse than someone who does that, makes a good decision, maybe doesn't get what they thought they were going to get from it, and then they go, it was wrong for me to do that. No. You did the right thing. You just needed to do it in the right organization. Does that make sense? But you got to switch your mind from I'll do it so instead of I'll do it if. I was talking to a team member. I almost said employee, but I was talking to a team member, and I said, hey, you should really get your Vista Convention ticket as soon as possible so your team members get it too. And she goes, well, if that policy comes in, I'll get it. I said, you know what? Don't get it. We don't want you there. Thank you. Don't get it. Even if the policy comes, don't come to Vista with us. I didn't say that, but in my mind, I was saying that. And I EPR'd them because I know they need time to learn and grow. Look, at the end of the day, look, we all start with an employee mindset. I start with an employee mindset too. Don't get it twisted. How come we all start with an employee mindset? Because we get programmed to think like employees from all the employees that are around us. Our teachers are employees, our principals are employees, the people that we talk to on a regular basis are employees. So we all come into entrepreneurship with an employee mindset. So did I. So of course, I give them the benefit of the doubt. I educated them. Hopefully they're going to act on that education and they're going to develop the entrepreneur mindset. But that's a great example of I'll do it if. But I'll do it so says they go, you know what? Right now, I'm not where I want to be financially. But I'm going to come to Worcester so I can make so much more money. So I can quit my job. So I can have so many policies going through that I don't have to worry about one going through underwriting and not going through. Is that clear? Yes. Again, here's what I want you to think about. Where are you doing I'll do it so and where are you doing I'll do it if? And take out all the I'll do it ifs and do it I'll do it so. Is that clear for you? Yes. Here's the next one. An entrepreneur looks for solutions and reasons. An employee looks for problems and excuses. I'll say it one more time. An entrepreneur-minded individual looks for solutions and reasons. An employee-minded individual looks for problems and excuses. One thing that I got to say here, you have to identify a problem before you can solve it. But there's a difference between identifying a problem and staying in the problem. See, an entrepreneur-minded person will identify a problem, then they will seek the solutions for it. and they have good reasons for seeking that solution. An employee-minded person will identify the problem and go, well, I guess that's it. Imagine you're working at a restaurant and all of a sudden the systems go down and you can't charge people's credit cards anymore. Okay, one person goes, well, let's close down the restaurant. Let's stop taking new customers in and let's just sit here until the owner comes. That's an employee-minded person. The entrepreneur-minded person comes and goes, hey, guys, we can't lose all our profit. We still need to be open for 2 hours. What solutions can we find? Can we do e-transfers? Can we take cash? Can we potentially go and use someone else's? Do you understand? And because whenever I go to a business and I'm not getting what I want from the employee, I say, can I see the owner? If the owner is available. When the owner comes, they always solve my problem. Why? Because the owner values the customer. The employee values the boss. I'm going to say one more time. The owner values the customer. The employee values the boss. And I'll tell you exactly why that happens. It's who pays who. Who pays the owner? The customer. Who pays the employee? The boss. This is why the bank gives such crappy service when you go there. Because the financial advisor, that's what they call themselves at the bank, is there to satisfy the quota given by their manager. They're not there to satisfy your interest the way we do. Is that clear? But because our customers compensate us, we satisfy their needs. Because we know if we can get a better rate of return for a customer, they will come back with referrals. We know if we give them the right service, they will come back with referrals. That's an entrepreneur way of thinking. The employee says, my manager told me to do this, so I'm going to do it. The employee says, I got to hit this quota, so even though it's not suitable for you, I'll sell you this random product so that I can hit my quota. Literally go on YouTube and see how many scandals they found from TD Bank and all these other banks of employees selling products that are not suitable to hit quotas. Because they're looking to satisfy the person that's paying them, which is the manager and the boss. We as entrepreneurs look to satisfy the people that are paying us, which is our clients. Does that make sense? Yes. I was at a restaurant when I was in Vegas, and I was paying like $150 per person. It was like this crazy buffet. I forget which hotel it was. And we were standing in the wrong line. Okay, there was one line on this side, and then there was this other line, and this line was like for a certain member, and this line was for everyone else. Okay, we were standing in this line for 10 minutes. We got to the end of the line. The employee goes, you guys have to go to the other line. We're like, we've been standing here for 20 minutes. No one told us we're in the wrong line. Can you just let us in? It's the same thing. No. Go to the end of the line. I spent $700 at that buffet for the last time I'll ever spend it. Do you understand? Do you think if the owner was there, they would do that? No. Here's what the owner would do. Here's what an entrepreneurial-minded manager or employee would do. Hey, listen, all good. Don't tell anyone. Just go in. I'll make an exception for you guys. Where are you guys from? Vancouver? Beautiful. Next time you come here, feel free to stay with us. Let's go. I'll take they don't know how big of a team I have. I'll take everyone from my team there every year. Good job, employee. You just played your power play. You made me go stand in the back of the line. Respect. You guys lost $1 million in profit over the next 5 years that I'm going to come to Vegas with my team. Do you understand the difference? Entrepreneur-minded versus employee-minded. Okay? Here's the next one. An entrepreneurial-minded person is resourceful. An employee-minded person expects to be given resources. Here's a common thing that you hear from employees. There's not enough training. They don't teach me anything. No one taught me how to do this. No one told me how to do that. No one told me the meeting starts at this time. No one told me that I'm supposed to RSVP. No one told me. I'm like, if I actually get concerned. I'm like, if no one told you to breathe, would you die? like you're so dependent on other people telling you what to do. Are you drinking enough water? Should I text you every day to make sure you're hydrating your body so you don't die of dehydration? Is there someone that helps you out but do you understand how crazy that is? Yes. Guys, when I got introduced to this business opportunity, it was a different office, different system, different leadership. I realized very quickly, these people are not going to be able to provide me the level of training that I need to get to the goals that I want to get to. You know where I went to right after I got my AMA? To the bookstore. And I picked up whatever books I thought was going to help me. sales books, finance books, whatever it was. And then I texted the person telling them what books I got to make sure it's the right books. And then I went and read them. Then you know what else I did? I went on YouTube and I started watching videos every day. I took ownership of my education because I knew if I get educated at the same rate as everyone else, I'll grow at the same rate as everyone else. And I don't want to grow at the rate of everyone else because they're not growing too much, at least not in that office. That's called being resourceful. That's called taking ownership over your future and over your life. Now, in our business, in our team, you don't have that problem at all. Actually, there's so many resources for you. I have so many of my training videos. You'd have to like try to not learn stuff. Like you'd have to come here like you'd have to delete Telegram. You'd have to avoid us to not learn stuff. That's how much resources, training. Like I'm telling you guys, some of you need to visit some other offices and teams to understand how much training resources you have here, how much your leaders are pouring into you every single day. I don't know many teams that have a culture like we do, where we literally call our team members every single day. Somebody calls you just to make sure you're doing okay. Hey, how are you? Ugh, asking me how I am again. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for trying to make sure you're in a good state of mind so you can produce results. Hey, did you study your license? Ugh, I can't believe you care more about me getting a license. The level of accountability, the level of resources, the level of emotional care that we have in this business is ridiculous. But that's also why we're growing so much. That's also why we're the number one team. That's also why we're always getting recognized as the top team in the company. Yes or no? It's because we have a culture that pours into people with no expectation of anything being given in return. Because many times you pour into people and they just leave and don't do it. That's okay. It's a blessing to the world. No problem. And we believe that if we pour into enough people, the right ones will do the same thing to others. But in order to do that, you got to be resourceful, not expect to be given resources. By the way, all of your leaders, all of your business owners, if you see something missing, why don't you step up and go, hey, can I help in this area? Yeah. Hey, I noticed this is an issue. Can I help in this area? That's how you build a great company, a great culture, a great organization that serves so many individuals. Yes or no? Yes. Here's the next one. An entrepreneur-minded person knows how to push themselves. An employee-minded person needs someone to push them. Okay? An entrepreneur-minded person learns and knows how to push themselves. An employee-minded person needs someone to push them. By the way, just so you know, we all go through tough times. And we all need someone to sometimes give us a call. We all need someone to sometimes give us a pep talk. We all need someone to sometimes motivate us. Yes or no? Yes. But let me ask you a question. What would you do if your mentors and uplines weren't around? I'll tell you what I did. I went on YouTube. And I got that same motivation from Ed My Led videos. I got that same motivation from a lot of great entrepreneurs who had a lot of great things to share that poured into me when I needed to be poured into. You know, we have a group called the One Invite Group where I post great podcasts, great videos, even my own trainings in there every morning for you guys to watch. Yes or no? Yes. Guess who did that for me? No one. No one. And no one needed to do that for me. Because I was the one that needed motivation, yes or no? So I'm in charge of getting that motivation. And if I got to get it from a YouTube video, I'll get it. If I got to go get it from an audiobook, I'll get it. If I got to reach out to my mentor and ask them for it, I'll get it. If that mentor doesn't give it to me, I'll call someone else. Then, does that make sense? Because it's my life, it's my responsibility, it's my results. I had a team member that today, they said, you know, I don't feel good. I'm not going to show up to the session. I said, wonderful. What a great decision you're making. If you can't hear the sarcasm, it's sarcastic. I said, let me ask you a question. If you had 100 people that were waiting for you to do a training and you felt just like how you feel today, would you still show up? Of course I would show up. Oh, interesting. And how do you think you end up having 100 people on your team? They go, what do you mean? I said, didn't you just tell me that if you felt exactly how you feel right now, but you had 100 people waiting for you to train them, you would still show up? They go, yeah. I said, then how do you think you'll end up with 100 people on your team? They go, I'm losing you. I said, let me explain to you. You do it today when you don't feel like it, when you don't have a team, and that's what allows you to build the team. Yes. Does that make sense? Yes. Here's the quote you need to remember for the rest of your life. Do what you do, what you would do at the end in the beginning. There's people that say, when I make a lot of money, I'll get an admin. Oh, maybe you got to get an admin to make a lot of money. There's a lot of people that go, I'll go to the conventions once I'm profitable. Maybe you got to go to the convention to become profitable. That's like you saying, I'm going to go get paid like an engineer, and then I'll go get the engineering degree. Do this tomorrow. I want to see how it goes for you. Go to your local medical clinic and go, hey, I bought a white lab coat from Amazon. I have one of those things you put on people's hearts, and okay? I'm ready. I'm ready. Sir, what are you ready for? I want to be a doctor. I'm ready. I'm here now. Did you go to school? Did you go to medical school? I'll go later. I've heard you guys make good money. Can I just get paid for listen, I'll make a deal with you. Doctor, whoever you are. Pay me as a doctor for 3 years. I promise I'll go to school, okay? I'll study really hard. Is that okay? That's how a lot of people come into our business. I'll get licensed once I make money. Excuse me? Did you know you need the license in order to make money? Once I get some results, I'll go. Once you get results, it's too late. But this is common sense stuff, but common sense is actually common. See, a lot of people say common sense is not common. Common sense is very common. Courage is not common. Because what I just told you, all of you know. Every person who has the ability to think for themselves knows exactly what I just said. So why do they act like they have nonsense instead of common sense? Because they're lacking courage. Does that make sense? Yes. And that's another area of an entrepreneur mindset versus employee. They play the game with courage and they have faith for a better future. But here's the thing here, guys. There's no better skill that you need to learn in life than how to motivate yourself and how to change your state. Has there been times in your life where you've been in a really good state? Yes. You've been really excited, happy. By the way, how was your day that day? Didn't everything you touched turn into gold? Yes. Have you also had days where you were in a really negative state? Yes. You were having a really bad day. You were really down. Yes. In that day, didn't everything you touched turn into, I don't want to say it, but I can spell it for you. Yes or no? Yes. What was the difference between those 2 days? Your state of mind. Yes or no? Yes. Personal development, personal growth is all about your ability to change your state. Not have someone else change it, but to change your own state. How fast do you go from negative to positive is the determinant between how much you've developed yourself. I still have bad days, by the way. Actually, I said that wrong. I still have bad moments. I still have moments where I'm negative, for sure. I still have many moments where I'm anxious. I still have moments where I'm down. But it's a moment because I've trained my mind and I've developed the tools within to go from anxious to faithful very quickly. To go from fear to gratitude. To go from negativity to positivity. To go from discouragement to enthusiasm. And it's all the things we teach in all our classes that I teach you guys. The pain and pleasure perception, affirmations, all these different tools that I've learned from my experience and from the experience of people like Tony Robbins and many other great teachers on how to control my internal states. Because let me tell you something. There's this much in your control in this life. 95% of stuff is totally out of your control. Yes or no? Yes. But there is a little bit that's in your control. If you can control your state of mind, if you can learn to maintain the internal despite of the external, you will be able to focus all your energy and power on the things you can control. And that's more than enough to get you exactly where you want to get to as fast as you want to get you there. Does that make sense? Yes. So personal development and personal growth is not about rah-rah. It's not about motivation. It's not about someone screaming in your face. It's about your ability to control the internal irrespective of the external. By the way, that's what a leader is. A leader is someone who is able to maintain calmness in a storm. A leader is someone who's able to maintain positivity and enthusiasm despite all the negativity. Yes or no? That's who people are drawn to. You think, let me ask you a question. If there's a disaster, some shit happens, do you think people are drawn to the person crying in the corner in the fetal position? Oh my God, what are we? Let's go. What should we do? What should we do? I don't know, I'm crying. Is that who people run to? No, they run to the person who goes, hey guys, I know, guys, this sucks. I don't know what's going on, but I get it. It's bad. Listen, everyone, let's calm down. Let's come. That guy in the field, someone go hug him, give him a blanket. Give that guy a blanket. Okay, someone else come here. And then people go, okay, this person is able to control their internal state. What if we could do what they do? How do I get the same calmness as him or her? How do I get the same peace as her? And they get drawn to you. In our business, you want to be really good at building a team, build yourself first. Yes. Because that's what's going to attract people more than anything. It's the energy you give off. It's the advice, but advice given with the right level of energy that you give to the right person. How many of you know people that every time you talk to them, you feel better? Is that because of their words or because of their energy? Exactly. And here's the thing, you can only give what you have. And some people only have negativity, so they can only give negativity. And I feel very bad for those people. By the way, I have no problem with haters. I actually feel sorry for them, not in a demeaning way. I feel sorry for them because I actually know how much they're going through. Because in order for them to give a stranger hate, imagine how much hate you have to have with them. So it's sad. And I hope they find the solutions. I hope they find the people around them that can give them the positivity that they need and they can bounce from it. But the reality is, what you can give is what you have. And you got to develop it before you can give it. So there's people that come to me, they go, how do I motivate my team? That's the number one question that amateur asks. How do I give more urgency to my team? Here's my question to them. How much urgency do you have? Because let me tell you something. If you're super urgent, if you're super motivated, people can't help but get motivated around you. I could lose my voice and you'll still get pumped up. I'll flap my hands around in a way that'll pump you up. Because human beings communicate with emotion long before they communicated with words. Does that make sense? You go, how do I make my team member feel better? They're going through a lot. How good do you feel? Oh, well, make yourself feel a little bit better, then go help them. Put on your own oxygen mask first, and you can easily put on someone else's. But if you're fighting for breath, you're going to fumble that oxygen mask, and you're both going to die. Does that make sense? Okay, good. It's good. We're on the right track. Thank you. Here's the next one, everyone. Entrepreneurs focus on thriving. Employees focus on surviving. Entrepreneurs focus on thriving. Employees focus on surviving. Again, you can be an entrepreneur-minded person in an employment position. You can be an employee-minded person in an entrepreneurial position. If you learn to focus on thriving, what does thriving mean? It means going after what you actually want, not settling for what you think you can have. See, as an employee-minded person settles for what they believe they're worth because their focus is on surviving. An entrepreneur's focus is on who they can become and thriving. An employee operates from memory. An entrepreneur operates from imagination. Think about it. In order to innovate, what do you need? In order to destroy innovation, what do you need? Memory. Think about it. The Wright brothers go and say, we're going to start something that's going to fly in the sky. The memory goes, there's no such thing. You're an idiot. The imagination goes, what if there can be? Yes or no? Yes. The entrepreneur goes, what if we can build something that everyone can connect on over video so they don't have to see each other in person? The employee goes, no one wants to go on video. You're dumb. And then we have Zoom. Skype was before Zoom, to be fair. And there was probably something before that. But you see, innovation can only come from imagination. Stagnation can only come from memory. It's a reality. So if you want to grow, you have to learn to train your mind to operate on what you can become, not what you have become. Because it's very easy to sit there and go, imagine someone like Roman. It's very easy for someone like Roman to sit there and go, I have become a carpenter. I have become a tradesperson, and I can never become anything else. But in order for Roman to come into this business and succeed, he had to operate from imagination. He had to sit there and go, there was a day I wasn't a tradesperson and I became it. What if I could become a financial person? What if I could become an entrepreneur person? And that imagination gave him the hope to try all the things that we all try to become who we need to become. Yes or no? Yes. But in order to think that way, you have to focus on thriving, not just surviving. It's not about just getting by, but it's about making something of your life. Yes or no? Yes. Here's the next one. An entrepreneur has faith for growth. An employee has a fear of loss. Again, it's a mindset. An entrepreneur-minded person has faith for growth. An employee-minded person has a fear of loss. What if I lose my job? What if I lose my client? What if I lose this? What if I, yes or no? Yeah. By the way, all of us have those thoughts. Many times I find myself in moments where I'm in a fear of loss, but it's a moment. And then I remind myself, this is not what's going to get me where I want to get to. I have faith for growth. And then I take out a piece of paper and write down the things that I'm grateful for. Because it's hard to be afraid of what you're going to lose if you're focused on what you have. Yes or no? Yes. See, if you sit there and go, I'm afraid of losing my job, but then you take a moment and go, you know what? I'm grateful that I have good health. I'm grateful that I live in an economy that has other jobs available to it. You see, in order to, there's only two medicines for fear. One is action and facing the fear. The other is gratitude. That's it. The only ways you can ever overcome fear is either face it or remind yourself of the things that you're grateful for. And I find myself in fearful moments from time to time. And you know what I do in those moments? If I can face it, I do it. If I can't face it, I'll sit there, take out a piece of paper, and write down the things that I'm grateful for, and I reflect on it while breathing. 2 breaths in, 1 long breath out. And in that moment, I remind myself of how blessed I am. And if you're listening to me right now, you're so freaking blessed. Amen. I'm telling you. I don't care where you're at financially. I don't care where you're at in terms of your health or mindset or whatever is going on in your life. If you are able to listen to me, you are more blessed than billions of people in this world. Seriously. If you don't know it, I'm not asking you to go to a third world country, but you may need to go for a trip. Because there's places right now that there's people that wish that every night they go to bed, they pray to have your problems. Literally. Every night they go to bed, they go, I wish I had a job that I could be scared of losing. I wish I was in a free country where I was worried about whether I can buy that next car. I wish there's people that literally sit there. Do you know there's countries that if you're in debt, you go to jail? Do you understand this whole bankruptcy thing is like a very weird thing for everywhere in the world except US and Canada? You know what's bankruptcy in any other country, especially third world countries? Jail. That's bankruptcy. You know what $1,000 credit card gets you in a third world country? Prison time. You think in Iran people are getting into credit card debt? Oh man, yeah. The interest on my credit card. That guy's in prison. There is no interest in the credit card. He's talking to the wall because he's lost his mind. It's only countries like Canada and US where you can actually have debt to be stressed over. Oh, I may have to declare bankruptcy, and it just all gets wiped out magically. And someone else pays for it with their tax money. Wonderful. Do you? Don't. But I'm serious. So entrepreneur-minded people have faith for growth. Employee-minded people have fear of loss. And if you train your mind to be more faithful rather than fearful, you will get significantly more results. Good? Yes. Okay, let's continue. An entrepreneur takes 100% responsibility. An employee looks for someone to blame. Yes. An entrepreneur-minded person has a hero mindset. An employee-minded person has a victim mindset. By the way, all of us have moments where we feel like a victim. It's fine. It happens. But it should be a moment. not a lifetime. Because here's the thing. Who ends up getting all the rewards at the end of the movie? The hero or the victim? So why not be the hero of your life? Why be a victim? I get it. Being a victim is easier. Because being a victim means you sit there and you blame everyone and everything for all your problems, and you wait for a magical savior. Right? But I'm telling you, Disney is not real life. In real life, if Cinderella loses her shoes, they steal it. And they sell it on Craigslist for half the price. Does that make sense? That's real life. In Disney, Prince Charming gives it to her and they marry happily ever after. In real life, Snow White dies from the poison. Okay? In Disney, she gets kissed and wakes up or some shit. I don't know what the hell happens. I don't think they teach you that in medical school. Guys, if somebody's dying of poison, kiss them on the lips. Don't. In Disney, Robin Hood steals for the poor. In real life, Robin Hood steals from the poor. Because rich people have security. You understand? Do you understand? I don't hear Michael Jordan getting robbed much often because he's got a bunch of bodyguards. But I hear someone who has a job who can't protect themselves get robbed. Yes or no? Guys, in Disney, being a victim works out. In real life, you just keep getting shot on. No offense. It keeps getting worse. It doesn't get better. I can't. His laugh is too good. That's who's taking a break, but Robinson is making up. But does that make sense, everyone? So you have to take 100% responsibility. Look, here's why this is so important. Whatever you're responsible for, you have control over. Whatever you're responsible for, you have power over. Meaning, if I have a conflict with someone and I take responsibility for that conflict, now I have power to do something about it. I can learn something from that conflict now and become better. So the next time I'm in that situation, I react in a more effective way. I also have the power to go apologize to them and make the relationship better. But if I'm a victim in that conflict instead of the hero, can I apologize? Can I forgive? No. See, in order for a victim to forgive someone, they first need to find the hero within themselves. And in order for that victim to have peace, they need to forgive whoever hurt them. And I get it. There's a lot of people who've had things done to them that are not fair, that shouldn't have happened. Yes or no? Yes. We all have had those moments. Some of us very bad ones. Some of us maybe not that bad. Yes or no? Yes. But the only way we can gain power over our life is by forgiving that person, as hard as it might be. And the only way that we can forgive them is by finding the hero within ourselves. Because heroes can forgive, victims can't. And I'm telling you, as soon as you start to adopt a mindset of taking 100% responsibility for your life, you'll become significantly happier much faster. Because now it's up to you for things to change, not some magical creature. Does that make sense? Yes. That's why this is so important. And I'm telling you, if there's one thing you take away from this meeting, just one thing, take this. Take 100% responsibility for your life. Yes. If you're not happy with where you're at, take responsibility for it so you can do something about it. Yes or no? Yes. If you're not happy with where you're at health-wise, I know maybe you've had some genetic issues that maybe weren't your fault. Fair enough. Sorry that happened. Maybe you got into an accident that wasn't your fault. Sorry that happened. But take responsibility for it so you can do something about it. I promise you, Roman has taken full responsibility for what he's going through. If he didn't, he wouldn't recover as fast as he has. It's unfair what happened to him. It's unfair that he got into a motorcycle accident. It's unfair that accident. There's people that ride motorcycles for their whole life that might never get into an accident. He got into it after 2 months. But he chose to take responsibility for it and change and grow. And I'm telling you, he's going to come back out of this 10 times the person that he was when he went into it. Guaranteed. And here's why. Because an entrepreneurial-minded person grows from their challenges an employee person just goes through their challenges. I'm going to say it one more time. An entrepreneur-minded person grows through challenges. An employee-minded person goes through challenges. Meaning, the entrepreneur-minded person takes responsibility for the challenge, believes everything happens for me, not to me, and learns the lessons they need to learn to make something better of it. The employee-minded person goes through the challenge and learns to blame everyone else and sit there and go, well, who's me? I guess that's it. That's why one person grows through the challenge, one person just goes through the challenge. And what does that do? That person never repeats the problem. The other person constantly keeps repeating the same problem. Have you ever seen people who seem to end up in the same relationship even though the face changed? Not from surgery. I mean a different person. Just some people might misunderstand. I just want to clear that up. But haven't you seen people go from, unfortunately, abusive relationship to abusive relationship, even though it's different people that they're dating? Haven't you seen people go from one cheater to another cheater, even though, yes or no? And look, I get it. That's a tough situation to go through. I'm sorry you have to go through it. But if it's happening over and over again, maybe you are the problem. Actually, why am I trying to be nice? You are the problem. If it happens once, you got unlucky. Twice, you got unlucky. If it's happened 5 times now, love, there's a mirror for a reason, and you got to look into it. And you go, how could it be my fault? Maybe you're attracting that type of person because you haven't taken care of some stuff that's going on inside. Maybe you're ignoring the red flags. Maybe you don't even know there's red flags because you blame them so much, you don't take any responsibility for not becoming aware of the red flags. Yes or no? Yes. And I get it. It sucks to go through that. But if you want to stop going through it, you got to become the hero instead of the victim. You got to sit there and go, okay, this happened. What is my fault about this? Yeah, they're this, they're that, all the names you call them while you're eating your chocolate ice cream with your friends. Fair. Once the chocolate ice cream is done, once you've gone through 4 of them, then you got to sit there and go, okay, cool, they're not bad. But where was I at fault? Okay, well, maybe this red flag I should have watched out for. Okay, maybe this part. Maybe boom, 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 boom. Lesson. You don't make the same mistake again. You have a happily ever after life. Yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next one. An entrepreneur manages their time. An employee needs someone else to manage their time. See, an entrepreneur manages their schedule effectively to get what needs to get done so they can get the results they need to get, so they can get the income that they need to get. Yes or no? Yes. An employee waits for someone to give them that schedule. All of you, again, are in a position here where you have the opportunity to be business owners. It's up to you to manage your time. And there's people we have in our business, like Abby, who has 3 kids, who has a full-time job, and she's still managed to make $3,000 to $4,000 a month in part-time income with us. There's another team member of ours, Kareem, and he's only been able to do this business for an hour a day, and he's crushing it. And I can keep giving you names of people who are doing that and getting good results. Yes or no? Okay, these people are not better than you. They've just learned to manage their time more effectively. They're just more efficient in the time that they're giving into this. They're just not wasting as much time. They're not looking for excuses. They're looking for reasons. They're not looking for problems. They're looking for solutions. Is that clear? And I promise you, you do the same thing, you'll get just as good results, if not better. Here's the next one. An entrepreneur is more, and this is actually the last one. An entrepreneur is motivated by vision. An employee is motivated by comfort. I'm going to say that one more time. An entrepreneur is motivated and inspired by vision. An employee is motivated and inspired by comfort. I hear this all the time. I go, hey man, like, how's your job? Oh, it's awesome. I have nothing to do. I go, what do you mean? They go, yeah, they just promoted me to this position. I literally just stand around all they do nothing. I'm like, and I don't say this to them because I'm happy that they're happy, so I don't want to take that happiness from them in that moment. But here's what I'm thinking. Shit, they're going to get fired in like 2 months. Now, If you're in that position and you're doing something about it, maybe you're studying the license, maybe you're reading a book, you're listening to the audiobook, maybe you're doing something to proactive because you have a vision for a better future where hopefully you're not spending your time doing nothing, then you're good. But what does that employee think? What a steal. I do nothing and they pay me. I give no value to anyone else and I give no value to the company and they pay me every day. And that's the same person that complains when they get laid off when the company goes bankrupt. You know why the company got bankrupt? Because you had nothing to do. And they kept paying you every day. Like, if they caught on and fired you sooner, they might have still been in business. But because they're motivated by comfort, that's their dream. I get to, what do you do for work? 8 hours a day, I stand somewhere and I scroll through Instagram. Wow, what an inspiring life you have. But an entrepreneur-minded person is motivated by vision. That same, and I'll put an entrepreneur-minded person in that same position that has nothing to do. You know what they say? They go, what is this company missing that I can help them with? You know, that manager's not, how come I'm not doing anything? Why are they paying me? And they come up with a business idea. They come up with an idea and they call the district manager or the CEO. Hey, listen, for the last 2 weeks, I've done nothing. And you guys have paid me this much. If you want to fire me, you can. But let me tell you something. Here's what I figured out. If you guys do this, you don't even need me. And the guy goes, shit, you're right. Sorry, what was your name again? Okay, cool. Who's your super? Can you come see me? I want to talk to you. You see me? That's what a great organization will do, and they'll promote that person this fast. And that person goes all of a sudden from making $20 an hour to making $70 an hour in a snap. And then everyone else goes, they got so lucky. No, dude, they were motivated by a vision, not by comfort. Yes or no? Yes. That's why, again, you can be an employee-minded person in a business and sit there and go, well, I have nothing to do and do nothing until you're bankrupt. You can also be an entrepreneur-minded person in an employment position. And because of your vision, you want to do more, you want to give back, and you find that solution. Yes or no? Because I'm telling you guys, in your business, there will be times where you have nothing to do. I hope because of your vision, you find something to do that's going to get you there closer. If you need rest, take rest. But if you know you shouldn't rest at 12 p.m. on a Monday, then do something. Yes or no? Yes. And I'm telling you guys this right now. You have what you need. Everyone that is listening to me, I promise you, you have enough intelligence to make it here. I promise you, you have the ability to learn the right skills to make it here. I actually believe you have the commitment and mental toughness to make it here as well. What many people are missing is the right way of thinking. What many people are missing is the right mindset. And it's because no one's taught them that mindset. No one's taught them that perspective. Does that make sense? Yes. The reason I'm teaching this session to you is because I believe if you operate in your life with these perspectives and mindsets, you will be paid exactly how much you're worth, which is what a successful entrepreneur should be paid. And you know how entrepreneurs really get paid? In the beginning, they get paid way less for the amount of work that they're doing, but one day they get paid way more for the work that they're doing. I'm telling you right now, guys, I get paid about $100,000, $110,000 a month, and I don't even know where the money comes from sometimes. Like they're paying me $12,000 tomorrow, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Every pay cycle, I'm surprised. But guess why I get compensated at that level? Because I worked so hard for so long without getting compensated like that, struggling financially, scared, worried, so that I can get compensated like this today. And it's not the compensation that matters to me. It gets old after a while, believe it or not. Financial stress also gets old very quick, right? But I'm telling you, the money's not the thing. It's what the impact you're making. Because you know what that income reflects? All the other people that are making money in my business. On tomorrow's payment cycle, I'm getting paid $12,000, but 3 other people are also getting paid $12,000. 10 other people are getting paid $4,000. 20 other people are getting paid $2,000. We get paid twice a week here, not twice a month. Every week we get paid on Wednesday and Friday. And I have over 50 people getting paid just tomorrow. That doesn't include the people that got paid last Friday. It also doesn't include the people that are going to get paid on Friday. Don't you think that's a level of value that I've provided to the world? By the way, you know why all these people are getting paid? Because there's a lot of clients who got a rate of return of 56% with us last year. I'll say that one more time because some of you missed it. Many of our clients, the last 12 months, were able to get 56% return. Many of them got 20% return. Many of them got 10% return, depending on how their portfolio was set up based on their risk tolerance. But those same people before that were getting given 1% from the bank. Those same people before they were given our service and our value and our education were getting what for their rate of return? 0% in their savings account? It is gross. But don't ever forget, people get paid for the level of value they're providing to society. And if you're not providing much value, sooner or later, you'll be paid exactly that amount, which is not much. But if you're providing a lot of value, sooner or later, you will be paid significantly even more for that. By the way, that's just the investment side. Do you know how many people have insurance with us and things have happened to them, unfortunately, and they're okay because of what our service was able to do for them? Do you guys think Roman would be as calm and peaceful if he was an employee? No. Roman this month has made close to, I think, $20,000. And he's been in the hospital the whole month because he's recovering from his accident. Do you think they would have paid him $20,000 as a carpenter in the hospital? No. You think the project manager at his company will go, Roman, we're going to pay you $20,000 this month because we feel bad for you? Do you think that's what happens? But because Roman had access to this platform, because he built this business, because he put in the hard work, because he dug his well before he was thirsty, he's still getting paid even though he's in an unfortunate situation. And do you know how many other people have that same story as Roman that were introduced to our organization and company? Many others. That's why I love what I do. That's why even though my voice is gone, even though I don't need the money, trust me, if I told you how much I have in savings, you do the 5% math, I'm more than fine. We love you, Nima. Thank you. But I genuinely do this because I care about all of you and because I want all of you to have what I have and more. Is that okay? Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye. By the way, in case